That's weird.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am back with another video and I'm excited to be back here today. I don't know why I did that, but I'm excited to be back with another video because I'm trying to be more consistent on my channel. I'm trying to, give back, the little bit of views I had or whatever. I'm trying to, do my little thing or whatever. I'm back with another video, and this time I'm back with something different. I thought, I want to go on Reddit and I want to see like the most craziest, stories I could find. And this time I want to, as somebody that's been into K-pop for a long time, I know, some people can be, crazy K-pop stans, right? So, people, they might encounter like, some crazy people in the real world. Now, I haven't, personally encountered any of these people, but I know some that has. So I went on Reddit. Hopefully the general public has, a good opinion and good views.
I'll have to ask my accountant about that.
Because I picked the ones that had the most upvotes because I want to have a fresh reaction with y'all. So, that's why I'm doing it like this. So hopefully, the people that, voted, the most ones, hopefully they're entertaining and, it's going to give us, a nice little laugh tonight. But I'm going to put it up right here and then let's go on and read. I work with a woman who was convinced she was online dating Jungkook. Honestly, it was really sad. But she was sending whoever it was money because they told her the only way they could ever meet is if she was part of his official fan club and she had to pay a monthly fee to his manager.
You're a dummy, bitch.
Air quotes, manager. We tried to convince her it was a scam, but she did not want to hear it. See, now that's crazy because a lot of people fall for those things. Like, have you ever seen Catfish? I remember I seen one girl when she was on Catfish, and I believe she thought that she was with Chris Brown, I think it was. And I was like, girl. And it was like supposed to be dating for I think like 10 or 12 years or something like that. And she ain't never met him. Ain't never been on the phone with him. Ain't never called him. Ain't never FaceTime him. Ain't never did nothing. And you thought you was with Chris Brown? Silly. No. I was sitting at a DMV waiting for 20 people in line ahead of me to provide their birth certificates and a copy of the Declarations of Independence. So I decided to open Spotify and put on some music. A woman leans forward in her chair, looks at my screen, starts humming Chinese View, which is the song I was listening to, and nearly caused me to fall out my chair out of fright. Never in my adult life have I ever been more weirded out from an real life encounter. And then somebody said that's scary as hell. Honestly, once the initial shock wore off, I was just annoyed more than anything that some random person decided to bother me out of. I think it was supposed to say all of the other random people at the DMV that day. Now, this one, I wouldn't say it's really that crazy, but I mean, honestly, for me, I would probably be like, "Oh, you know this song?" And then I'd be like, "Oh, I got a friend," and like I would, like I'm not really that kind of person anyway to like really talk to people in public like that much because I have social anxiety. So I do things like this. If I was in that moment, I wouldn't necessarily be annoyed, which I am usually annoyed when people interrupt me while I'm listening to my music. But in that moment, I think I would have mainly tried to make a friend in that moment. I don't know. So that wasn't really crazy, but I don't know. That was kind of rude on your part. At least for me. I don't know. I was once out with my friend group and two friends of a friend. Found out one of those two was also a K-pop fan. So we were having a fun chat about dances and stuff. And while the whole group is sitting together eating, she asked me which group I stand. As a resident Navy, I obviously said G Idol, which I do love G Idol too. I really like them. Her response was, "Oh, I don't like them because they're problematic."
Pay your bill. Pay your bill. Pay your bill.
I don't think they're problematic. Like I can understand why somebody would think they're problematic depending on like their I guess their culture and like, what they see like if they're more like conservative just because G Idol have done some things that are a little bit I guess like, more rated, a little higher of age and like the Asian culture. So depending on where they're from, I could see that. What's the goal there? Make me look bad in front of the person I don't know that well yet. And my friends too pick a fight during a fun trip. I just laughed it off and asked her about her favorite group, 17 actually, but have some grace G's. And then somebody said, if I'm not a fan of a group, I'm never rude about it to people. I couldn't imagine saying it to someone's face. Yeah, I mean, well, mm, I don't know. Because I'm not gonna say I'm like a confrontational person,
Hold my poodle. Hey, yo, what's up? Y'all got a problem?
but for me, if somebody's telling me that they like an idol, and I know for a fact they are kind of problematic, which I personally haven't heard anything really problematic about G Idol, besides them having like a more like especially them getting older, a more mature concept. But if it was like actually like a group that was problematic that did something or said something or around something or whatever the case may be that was actually problematic, I would really be like, I would say something right then and there probably, but that's just me. But I'm also not confrontational, so I don't know. I don't agree in the sense of G Idol's not problematic, but I do agree that I would say something to somebody if I felt like whatever artist that they probably stand would probably be problematic, but I wouldn't do it in like a rude way. I would just be like, hey, do you know that this artist is so and so blah blah blah, A B and C whatever.
What? Dork sounded.
So, and this is the last one. Okay, so it said, "Oh God, there's an army at my job," which I know that's a BTS thing. And someone initially tried to introduce us, and I was so happy to meet another K-popper who also supposedly lived in Korea before. She was so rude to me.
So nasty. Don't ever bring anybody around me like that. So nasty. And that's what happened. So rude.
I asked her about concerts she's seen, who she stands, if she's going to Korea again, but she responded to me each time with no eye contact and with a serious attitude. Ooh, girl, okay. Like I was a piece of unworthy bleep.
Fuck my drag, right?
I was hurt, I bet. I began to notice every time she walked past me in the halls at work, she looked really stressed out and anxious.
Do you guys ever think about dying?
She even seemed to have a full on panic attack when she passed me one day when I was wearing my Stray Kids hoodie. Okay, that was a random fact. This was all very weird. Turns out she's truly not mentally stable. Apparently she tells people that she goes to Korea every 3 months because she's really close friends with BTS. Okay. And that when they come to New York, they stay at her house.
You lie! You lie!
Okay. And aside from that, she apparently had a crush on one of her coworkers, so she stole and hid the car keys of his female friend, who also our coworker, in the washing room machine at our job because she thought they were dating. Okay, clearly saved the best for last. Yeah, no, even if she was a K-pop stan or not, stay away from her, please. Please. She's crazy. Don't do it. Don't do it. So that was the last of the stories of the crazy K-pop fans stands that in-person encounters. What did you think? Some of them was a little bland, some was a little blah.
Because we don't use them. Who just did that?
But I feel like we saved the best for last. I feel like the last one was really crazy. Hopefully, I hope I never come across somebody like that. I've been across crazy people, but never crazy K-pop people. Well, I just lied. I actually have. I know some people that's crazy K-pop people. I'm crazy, but not in like a bad way.
Nice guys like you shouldn't have bad days.
I hope y'all like this video. I hope y'all will see more of me again. I will try to be more involved in my content creating. I will be more frequent. I will post. I'm not gonna set a schedule or anything like that. I'm gonna post as frequent as I can. But I am busy. But I'm definitely gonna make time for this because I want to do more. So yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Okay. Ooh, what was that? No, no, no. Excited because I haven't. Look at the camera. Don't look at yourself. Oh my goodness. Okay, 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 okay. Okay, so this one wasn't really crazy either. So I'm gonna have to edit out a couple stories I see. I'm gonna have to edit it out. It's okay, it's okay.